Hey Blue Table fans, I'm going to do a bat rep, 40K. I'm kind of your go-to 40K guy, obviously. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and do a 2,000 point bat rep. I'm going to play Chaos Demons, and it's all Nurgle, and Nurgle Chaos Space Marines. Except for I did bring 3 Khorne guys, because I needed to put another choice in for the demons. And that was what I decided to put in, was those 3. Yeah, I'm kind of digging the combination of demons and Chaos Space Marines. There's a lot of cool things that they can do, being their brothers in arms and stuff. And yeah, this is one of the artists here. This is one of his army, and he wanted me to play it, and so I was like, well, what the heck, this will be fun. So for the main group, there is it's Chaos Space Marines is the main group, and here is what we've got. So I've got a Chaos Lord on bike with Mark of Nurgle, demon weapon, and that's pretty much it. He's kind of boring. Yeah. Then I have 4 units of Nurgle Marines, Plague Marines, power weapons on their champions, their aspiring champions. Double plasma, single melta, double plasma, double plasma. Plasma got better in this edition, and so did, well, arguably so did Feel No Pain. But these guys are going to be really gross with that, so that's what I decided to put on them. I got a Havoc squad, just 5-man, 2 missile launchers, 2 heavy bolters, and a Mark for Nurgle. I have a Raptor squad with a aspiring champion with double lightning claws, double melta. This guy right here is going to be my Mark, and then I've got 3 regular guys, so they'll be dropping. So that's the Chaos Space Marine part. Now the demon part, I had brought Epidemus. This is not obviously the Epidemus model, but I wanted to use that because it's a cool model. And then we brought a Flying Demon Prince as a heavy sport, and he's gross and awesome looking and just like a sweet, sweet conversion. This army, by the way, awesome, awesome conversions. 10 Nurgle Marines and units, 2 units, 1 of 5, 1 of 5. No, sorry, I said Nurgle Marines, I meant Plague Bearers. And then the fifth choice is I brought an elite of, those are my counts as Blood Crushers. So that's 2,000 points. Epidemus is an awesome ability. Hopefully I'll come down and be able to kill some stuff, and it will affect these guys. So maybe if I kill enough guys, they'll get power weapons. We'll see what happens. Probably not. But I wanted to try out the combination because it seemed like a pretty cool one, and everything in the Chaos Space Marine army has Nurgle, so it's kind of like, well, why not? Here's the table we're going to play on. We're doing an Egyptian, kind of like the middle of a monument kind of thing. So we're going to do, probably if you're behind these, you'll get some sort of cover as a pen. We'll do like some 5-up area terrain for these. Maybe these guys will be runes. So yeah, here we go. That's the table. I'm playing with Dave. Dave, smile and wave.
Howdy.
Dave, what are you playing?
Blood Angels.
Okay, what do you got in your army for me?
Just kind of wanted to play with some different random stuff since it's 6th edition. I want to try some things out. I brought my 5...
Yeah, I'm going to say that again. Guys, we're playing 6th edition. I know there was a lot of confusion last time. There were a couple posters who were posted and said, hey, you guys are doing everything wrong, and that's because, yeah, we're playing 6th edition. That means you can have allies. That means at 2,000 points you can have a double force organization chart. There's all kinds of stuff that we're going to be doing a video pretty quick here that Sean will probably put up around the same time as this bat rep, where we're going to kind of do a quick commentary on 6th edition and some of the changes and different things in it. So just be aware. It's different. It's a different game, and lots of change. So anyway, sorry, Dave.
That's all good. So I brought the Terminators. I love the Terminators, and with the new rules regarding AP on weapons and everything, they're kind of more survivable.
Yeah, they're grosser than they were.
And I always have run the guy with the Lightning Claw, but he's more important now because he breaks up the initiative of the squad, which is important for wound allocation against your opponent. Anyway, there's them. Then I have my HQs are, I have Dante in here somewhere hiding. There he is. Dante, and I brought a Reclusiarch in Terminator armor. I kind of feel like Chaplains got a little bit better with their Crozius Arcanums being mauls, even though They're only AP4. The extra strength, I think, comes in handy, especially for Blood Angel Ecclesiarchs and their higher initiative. So
Get some higher initiative attacks out there.
At strength 6.
At strength 6, and you're going to be killing at least light armored opponents. Not power armor, but lighter armored opponents are going to take it.
So
it's going to hurt.
So I have a Ecclesiarch and Dante. Since I brought Dante, I brought 5 Sanguinary Guard as a troop's choice to go with him. And since I have a chaplain, I feel obliged to bring Death Company. So I brought 9 Death Company. Especially with the new Rage models, the new Rage rules, I've been wanting to play with Death Company. So
yeah, +2 attacks instead of any kind of. You can't lead them around anymore. They just get +2 attacks on the charge. It's really gross.
So now instead of them being,
a liability,
they are a potential strength.
Yeah.
And then to round out my army, I have 2 more troops choices: Jump Packers, an assault squad with a sergeant with an Infernus pistol and a power fist, and 2 melta-guns. And another assault squad with the jump packs removed with 2 melta-guns and a sergeant with a power fist, and they have a rhino. It's worth noting that both squads, the sergeants have melta-bombs, just to fill out the points for my army.
Melta-bombs are more useful now because they can be put on monstrous creatures as well. And melta-bombs at least are initiative 1. But you get to put them on with your weapon skill rather than
It's a lot
needing
easier.
6 on a walker.
It's a lot easier to attach them to vehicles. Vehicles, some dreadnoughts I think kind of got a little less survivable. I'm playing with 1 anyway, though. Part of the reason that is I'm also playing with my Storm Raven.
So we'll go in the Storm Raven.
So for Blood Angels at least, I've had a thing that if I'm playing with my Storm Raven, I'm going to play with the Dreadnought. So
well, it's kind of a why not. One of the biggest vulnerabilities of Dreadnoughts in 5th edition at least was the fact that if you didn't make it a shooty Dreadnought, it had to get to the opponent, and Storm Ravens were one of the ways it quickly got to the opponent, and still had some mobility after turn 1 rather than a drop pod, for instance.
This Dreadnought is a little different than what I normally play. I normally play a Furioso with twin Blood Talons, but since these days those are only AP3, I actually opted for the Frag Cannon and the Heavy Flamer, because that way if he does get charged, he can overwatch somebody with a bunch of high-strength template shots, and then,
Cool. Well, hey, let's. I pre-set up terrain, so we're not going to do the terrain setup like it says to do in the book. And that's just going to be the way that most tournaments are going to be. They're going to set up terrain ahead of time. Plus, if we're talking about a narrative-style battle, this is what this is narrative. We're at a crossroads of 2 roads, and there's this big giant. This is actually a board for Tomb Kings, but for 1,000 Suns or Necrons, so here's a desert and crossroads, and there's pillars, and it's ruined, and there's palm trees, so it looks pretty cool, I think. But I set it up, so I'm proud of myself for setting it up so thematically. Anyhow, we're going to go ahead and just roll off normally for what scenario we're playing and what deployment. So, Dave, do you want to do the honors there and roll us off there? First, we'll roll for our what mission we're playing, and then that'll be a 2. And we'll find out what that is in a second. I don't have it memorized yet. And then the deployment's a D3. A 3 is going to be, I believe, the Dawn of War. So one of us has this half, the other has that half. Not for sure on that, but we'll check. Let's go ahead and make the roll off to see who goes first, or who deploys first, I should say. And then from there we'll deploy and come back. I'll tell you what we're doing. He got a 6. Just as a note, if you are coming in, these are his 6s. It's a symbol that he uses for his army, and that's his 1. So I got a 1. He had a 6. So Dave, are you deploying first or second?
What do you have for demons? You have Epidemus?
I have Epidemus. I have a Demon Prince, Nurgle Demon Prince with wings, 2 units of Plague Bears, and a 3-man unit of Blood Crushers. And this guy is super kitted out. He's kind of expensive. But he's gonna be fun. Alright, so Blood Angels are going to go first, so they'll deploy first. And we'll figure everything out from there. So, back in a second. Okay, couple of notes. We rolled a 2 for the scenario, which those of you that have just gone and looked in your rulebook while seeing that was Purge the Alien, so it's kill points. We are going to use the secondary objectives, so kill the Warlord, kill the Warlord, First Blood, and Line Breaker. And then the deployment is actually hammer and anvil, so it's there's 12 inches in the, or 24 inches in the middle, and the deployment zones are, and you deploy on your short table edge versus the long table edge. So a little bit different deployment, a little deeper deployment further away. Warlord traits, that's what we need to roll. We need to roll Warlord traits. So I'm going to roll a personal Warlord trait, and Dave actually has to decide first. Dave, which word are you using? I'm going to use it.
I think I'm using personal as well.
Okay, so we got the page here. This is page 111 if any of you want to know. I know that our camera's probably not good enough to actually get this on there, but we'll go ahead and just, you know, hey, there's the code, there's the rulebook. Can't read it. Yay. And Dante's your guy?
They're actually both the same leadership, but yeah, we'll make Dante.
Okay.
It's fitting.
Dante, his personal trait is a 3, which is Master of Maneuver. They have the outflank special rule for his unit, which is kind of silly because they're going to deep strike anyway. Alright, so now mine, I have personal trait of 6. I'm a scoring guy. I'm scoring, my Warlord can score. He's a scoring unit. It's the Nurgle Chaos Lord on bike. So, anyway, that was that. I think Warlord traits can add a flavor to it. I think it's kind of silly. I think it's kind of interesting and silly that sometimes they come out to be completely useless, whereas other times they could be really powerful. That's something that I bet you we're not going to see a whole lot of tournaments play the Warlord traits just because of that. Anyway, Dave's going to choose a long table or short table edge. Which one do you got? This one here?
This one of my stuff is.
Okay, so he's going to deploy over here. That means I'm going to deploy over there, and we'll come back see if I seize the initiative. Okay, so Dave, where did you set up, and explain what choices you made specifically, because it's interesting and different from 5th.
Okay, so I set up here as close to you as I could get. That's my deployment line. Now, in 6th edition, the way reserves work is different than the way it worked in 5th. With Blood Angels, I would actually prefer, if I had my way, I would have pretty much kept all of this in reserve except for the Rhino.
Right.
And dropped it down. But you can only keep half of your units that in reserve, not counting units that must be kept in reserve, such as drop pods and flyers. So, not counting the Storm Raven, I have 9 units total. So I could put half, so that's 5, because you round up the 4.
Right.
So I could put 5 units in reserve is all. So, as much as I would like to put everybody in reserve, I can't. So with that being the case, kind of based on the deployment, or the table that we have, where we have this super long distance to go, and also with the Warlord trait I rolled, I didn't want to completely waste it, because it was sort of wasted. So I did something I wasn't planning on doing, and I had Dante join the Terminators so that they can outflank.
So they're one of the ones okay.
Okay.
Ready to change batteries. So you were saying?
So independent characters do count towards units. So here's the 5 units I kept in reserve. The Dreadnought, which rides in the Storm Raven.
So the Storm Raven doesn't count, but what goes inside it does count.
Correct. So I'm putting 3 units in it. I'm putting the Dreadnought, I'm putting the Death Company, and I'm putting the Chaplain that has joined the Death Company. So that's 3 of my reserve units. They're all going to arrive in the Storm Raven, so I'll make 1 reserve roll for the Storm Raven. It'll show up with everybody inside.
Okay.
Then the other 2 units I can keep in reserve are Dante, and because of his Warlord trait, him and any unit he's joined to get to outflank, I joined him to the Terminators to help get them across this ridiculously long battlefield we're going to be playing on.
So that's your 5 choices that are in reserve.
That's my 5 choices in reserve. So because of that, normally I would have had Dante with the Sanguinary Guard and the Sanguinary Priest that I don't know if I mentioned when I had my army, but there is a Sanguinary Priest with a Power Sword on Furnace Pistol and Jump Pack.
In with the Sanguinary Guard.
And he is joined with the Sanguinary Guard.
Cool. And the Sanguinary Guard have what? One Infernus Pistol?
1 Infernus Pistol, 1 Power Fist, 1 Sword, Glaive and Carmine, and the others are all axes.
So.
And then also,
now,
I was
Glaive
going to
and
combat
Carmine,
squad, but since we're playing kill points, I didn't.
Oh yeah, no combat squad, so he's got 10 man in here in the Rhino, and then these 10 guys are all the same unit. Now, Glaive and Carmines, because of their special rule, does that mean that they're just AP3 weapons, or do the axes count as axes with this +1 strength?
They don't. The only special rule they have is that they're master crafted. And
so there's a debate on that.
They're two-handed, so you don't get an extra weapon. You don't get the bonus for an extra weapon. But other than that, they're master crafted.
Okay. So they count. They're power weapons that are master crafted.
I would count them as power weapons that are master crafted.
So they're axes. So you're initiative one with those +1 strength and AP2.
Correct.
Okay. Cool. That is how we will play them, and that sounds good. Okay. So that's where he deployed. Now I deployed over here, and I'm taking advantage of these pillars to try and do wounds. I did some funny stuff. I got my whole Havoc squad on top here, so they get a 4-up cover save. And these guys are kind of just huddling, hanging out. This guy is joined with these bikes here, with these Nurgle Marines here, I should say. And I had only the four units of Nurgle Marines, the Havocs, and the bike Warlord on the board, because demons are just same as flyers or drop pods. They have to arrive from reserve. So what I have arriving from reserve is HQs can pre-join units, right, when they drop.
No. The heralds can.
The heralds can. So the herald this herald Epidemus is joining with the Nurgle guys, and so that's 1, 2, 3 of my choices, and then 4 or 5 will be my second. So on a 3 or better, I get these guys. 1 or 2, I get those guys first turn. And then I have the Raptors, which are part of the Chaos Space Marine list, and they're my only unit that I'm keeping in reserve from that side of the force. So they will deep strike, of course. Okay, awesome. So night fight. Dave, you want to see if it's night fight turn 1, and then I'll see if I can seize the initiative. So on a 4 or better, we have night fight for turn 1. It's cocked. Got to fill the hole. Probably still, nope, no night fight. So night fight will start rolling on a 4 or better. Will come into play on starting on turn 5, 6, and 7. And then do I seize the initiative? No, I do not. So it will be.
I need to roll for rage.
Oh, rage. Yes.
So Sanguinary Guard.
No.
Assault Squad.
No.
And guys in the Rhino.
Guys in the Rhino. No.
And you're supposed to roll the rest when they're deployed. So when they show up, I'll roll for them.
Great. So go ahead and your turn first.
Okay.
All right, Dave. Where'd you move?
Forward.
All right. So everybody move forward. He made a dangerous terrain check out here and passed for the vehicle, and now he's going to.
I elected to pop smoke here instead of moving flat out.
Right. Because you can only do one or the other.
And these guys will run.
Okay.
So the assault squad will go 1 inch, and the Sanguinary Guard will go 2.
Lovely.
Because they're fast.
All right. Well, so then he's going to do those, and then it will be my turn.
Yep.
So I'm going to go ahead and just right now make the roll to see whether or not I get the piece of the demon army I want on first turn. So, do I get the piece I want? Yes, I do. So we'll go to doing that right now. I'll put my demon prince down. Now, this brings up the good point that we were talking about off camera. That is that when a flying monster's creature arrives from reserves, they're required to say whether or not they're swooping or gliding. Swooping, of course, is the flying version. And the way that we're interpreting it and arguing is you can't. It seems like to us, and maybe we're off base, maybe not, and we can have somebody on the internet make a comment and tell us. But it seems like that if a flying monster's creature arrives and is teleporting on, which obviously the way the demons do, they cannot swoop because they have to move a minimum of 12 inches.
To be swooping, it is required to move 12 inches, and you cannot move any inches. You come wherever you deep strike.
You appear where you are. You're not coming on from the board edge or anything like that.
So therefore, demons. It's also probably worth pointing out for those of you who are going, demons are not flying monstrous creatures. In the fact, chaos demons and greater demons are flying monstrous creatures.
In the Chaos Demon Codex.
In the Chaos Demon Codex.
We're talking demon princes. We're saying demon
princes. Things with the demonic flight upgrade. However, demon princes in the Chaos book.
Chaos Space Marine.
Chaos Space Marine book. They're just monsters jump infantry.
Yeah, so they don't get flying. So that's an important distinction to make. Important distinction to make. So this guy is a demon and has demonic flight, so he does get to
swoop and glide.
Swoop and glide. So I'm going to go ahead and put him right back here somewhere. Right. Let's see. We're gonna go in the middle. No, we're not. This is hard. Dave has outflankers. Wait a second. You can't charge. Yeah, you
It's
turn
just to
show
get me
up.
across the table edge.
All right. So we're okay with this. We'll go right here and risk
It's
this
just to
falling
get
off
me
the
across
table.
the board.
Oh, I go back in this corner 5 inches. You can see that. So we're going to be okay. I'm going to put epidemus and crew here in the middle-ish. Yes, that's what I want to do.
I hope you miss half off the table. As you said to me when I played demons.
Nope. There you go. I only have a couple of units, so it's not like it's not as many. So I just hit with epidemus, and then this guy. He does not. He has the move through cover rule, which ignores dangerous terrain, so he doesn't have to take a dangerous terrain test by doing that, by hitting that. And then we also said that unless your model is behind one of these, it doesn't count as terrain. So they're okay. So
somebody lands on that rock, they'll probably have to take it.
So I'll take one right now for that, just for the fun of it. Okay, he's good. All right, so I'll do my regular movement, and we'll go from there. Okay, so movement. This obviously that's where he ended up. I shuffled these guys a little bit, shuffled these 2 units up, this guy out so he can see have some better line of sight. Dave doesn't have any template weapons, so I'm going to try and take advantage of that. Do some shooting here. We're going to shoot this unit, this 5 guys right here, at the sanguinary guard. I have 2 plasma guns, which is the reason why I'm doing it. So here's the 2 plasma guns. 1 hit. And then 3 bolters. 2 hits. Bolters needing 4s, so 2 wounds there. Plasma needing 2. So he gets a feel no pain from that, and armor and feel no pain from the other. And that's 1 unit there. Oh, I guess you might get cover too.
Yeah, 25% is all it needs for cover these days, so...
And I didn't say I was going to focus fire, which is what I should have done.
So, 4-up cover save on... Oh, it's up to you which wounds I take first, actually.
Take the plasma first.
So, cover, it's a 4.
Okay.
And then...
And that's because I'm shooting them, giving them cover from the runes here.
And then the 2 armor saves, we're good
Okay.
with a 3 and a 2.
Okay. Next unit, we're going to fire at him again. I think we're going to... Oh, I can't. Well, they're going to charge him next turn. I don't want them to.
I misspoke. It's still, I think it's still 50% of the unit for cover. I did have 50% behind from that first unit, but it's a model's body is 25%. For those of you who are saying it's not 25%.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2. I don't think I'm giving you cover from this unit, from these guys. So I can see 3.
There's 6 in the unit.
You can see 2 there. Now, it's the majority of my unit can see the majority of your unit? Is that right? Is that how it's worded?
I don't remember how it's exactly worded.
I think that's the way it's worded. So if the majority of my models can see the majority of your models, and this is an interesting question, because what I've done here, I don't know if you guys can see it on the camera. What I've done here is I've got my unit split around this pillar. So these guys here can see 3 to 2.5 of these guys here, and then like 1 over here, and then these guys over here can see like 2 and 1 over there. So that's a toughie. I think I'm probably just going to err on the side of caution and give Dave his 4-up cover save anyway. But we're going to go ahead and shoot at them anyway. So here's 2 plasma. 1 hit again. So here's the plasma wound. It does. Bolters. 1 hit. No wounds. So just 1 plasma wound.
We rolled another 4.
And I would have chosen to focus fire, but my plasma weapons were in different spots and couldn't see the same people. So that was kind of a problem. Well, that was my good attempt, my good chance to take out some of those sanguinary guard before they caused me problems. But I'm just out there, so I'm not going to shoot at them. So this unit's going to shoot at the regular Marines here. So 2 plasma. Now these guys aren't going to get covered. They're way out in the open. 2 plasma hits. One guy's going to die, and then 3 bolters. 1 hit, 1 wound.
Sorry, I'm trying to watch your dice rolls and on the opposite sides of this pillar.
All are almost.
Okay, so what do you got? You got 1 wound from plasma, and what else?
1 wound from a bolter.
Okay,
So,
which one do you want me to do first?
go ahead and take the plasma first. Closest guy.
So no covers, but I am going to get feel no pain.
Right, because of the sanguinary priest.
And I didn't make it since it's 5 up these days.
So one guy just dots.
Probably to that unit, it's probably this guy.
Yeah, so he's dead. Now the next guy, probably that guy.
Armor, he's
Made
good
it.
with a 6.
Okay. My demon prince is going to run 2 inches.
Sorry, I'm not doing real good with this camera. I'm not used to this camera. It's different than the one you used to use.
Yeah. Alright, these guys right here, I'm going to attempt the first blood, so we're going to shoot everything at this rhino here. So I've got 2 missiles, and I have 2 heavy bolters. So here's the 2 missiles. 1 hit, that's not what I needed 2 missiles. So a 3 will do something to you. I bounced off.
Nice.
And the heavy bolters. I'm not going to get the first blood, which is awfulness. And 6s will glance. 1 glance, you get a cover save.
My smoky save, which I made on a 6.
Okay, well, oh yeah, I have 1 more unit that's going to shoot these guys back here. Close enough. 3 bolters are going to shoot at those Marines there. You'll get a 5 cover save since I'm shooting through my own guys. It's a cocked die. So, 1 wound.
1 wound from bolters.
Yep.
We
And
failed it with a 2,
Feel no pain.
and we failed the feel no pain.
So that guy.
That guy there.
Cool. Alright, it will be your turn, sir.
Okay.
Okay. Alright, so reserves.
Okay, so Dante and the outflanking Terminators are here.
Yep. Everything is
And-
on turn 2. Everything. It's always a 3 or better now.
Right. Turn 2, 3 or better. Turn 3, 3 or better. Turn 4, you automatically get it.
Yeah.
And then my flyer, also a 3.
Okay.
So they both show up, which is really good. So left, right, and I choose. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is my choice for Dante.
Okay. 3, 4.
Over there,
So they're over here.
I'm probably fine with that, I think.
So he's going to go ahead and move all that stuff on, and then we'll go from there. So Dave just has been moving, and he just rolled a 1 for his difficult terrain or dangerous terrain there for the rhino. So it just immobilized itself. I'm a fan.
Stupid.
So now he's getting out. Now, not that it matters this turn, but the way that it reads in the rule book is when you disembark from a vehicle that's not an assault vehicle, then that turn you can only you can only run and shoot. Yeah, in the your subsequent says your subsequent assault phase you cannot charge. So even if I were to blow his vehicle up on my turn, then his subsequent assault phase would be on his turn. He would still not be able to charge.
Now I place myself in base with the access point, and then,
you move 6 inches.
I move, but I don't. But I have to remain wholly within 6 inches of the access point or the vehicle.
The access point.
That's what I thought.
And then also.
So actually, I need a difficult terrain.
And then
Because
also.
the vehicle broke itself in an inconvenience, but we're going 6 inches.
6 inches anyway. Alright, so he's going to finish that movement. We'll come